Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Luqman Hakim bin Nur Bakri. My metric number is AD190075 and I'm doing Introduction and Primary Assumption with Design Approach. I'm going to start with the introduction. In general, heat transfer refers to the movement of heat, thermal energy, brought on by temperature differences as well as the following distribution of alteration in temperature. It is important to understand how momentum, energy, and mass are transferred by conduction, convection, and radiation. The mathematical formula allows us to explain these procedures. These rules of conservation of momentum, energy, and mass, along with constitutive laws relation that characteristic both the conservation and flux of the quantities involved in these phenomena, provide the foundation for this formulation. Therefore, we may theoretically explain rules and constitutive using differential equation. This equation can be resolved in order to analyze system and forecast their behavior. It's the best approach. The primary assumption that we choose for this project is the inner walls of the facility are made by 3mm thick AISI 304 stainless steels. The insulating material is polyolefin foam. The outer wall made from cement board 5mm thickness. The outermost layer shall be painted 0.3mm thickness. And lastly, the minimum indoor temperature is 150 degree, while the maximum ambient temperature is 400 degrees Celsius with relative humidity of 70%. The physical properties of the stainless steel, polyethylene, and cement are shown in this slide. That is about the strength, durability, corrosion, resistance, and the maintenance. The strength of stainless steel is very strong. The durability is high, corrosion also high, and maintenance is low. Next is about polyolefin. The strength is strong, durability is high, corrosion resistance is high, and the maintenance is low. Lastly is about the cement. The strength is strong, durability is high, corrosion resistance is high, and the maintenance is low.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and I will continue this presentation about the thermal resistant network. Materials for insulation are designed to provide appropriate performance and enable significant energy savings. It is important to analyze additional factors like the thermal resistant network. Life cycle analysis should also be used to determine the effect on this habitat of human health.
Assalamualaikum. I will present the analysis and discussion. So first, we must identify the pacer must have suitable temperature, humidity, carbon dioxide, water, and lighting. So we identify the minimum temperature, the maximum ambient temperature, and the humidity percentage. After that, we identify the thermal conductivity for every materials. After that, we calculate the TDP, which is temperature dew point. So first we must find the temperature saturation at P. So we refer to table A4. So we got the answer is 5.17 kilopascal. After that, we find the temperature dew point from the table A5 and we calculate it. Then we calculate the TDP. So we got the answer is 33.78 degrees Celsius, which is close to the 33.37 degrees Celsius. Then we use the formula of heat transfer rate, which is equal to T ambient minus T pacer over R total. So we substitute the value for the T ambient and T pacer and also R, and then we find the answer is the length is equal to 0.008 meter or 8 millimeter.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hadi Anwar bin Muhammad Yassin. This project provides a detailed analysis of insulation materials, including some specification, design, thermal properties, and economic consideration. Heat transfer through conduction with insulation materials, and we observe more insulation on the wall, frequently used to reduce heat transfer, and more thickness and of the insulator is better at reduced heat transfer. Furthermore, the thickness of insulation, the lower rate of heat transmission. Increased insulation raises the insulation layer conduction resistance. And lastly, heat transfer decrease depending on which factor dominates. Important input or the operational and emission and temperature, diameter inner wall and outer wall, and unit cost. We also limited the procedure for determining the most effective insulation type of thickness. Heat transfer and economic analysis are required to determine the optimal insulation thickness.
Okay, next is the schematic of any design. 304 stainless steel layer 5mm thickness, and second olefin second layer 8mm thickness. Third cement board third layer 5mm layer, and lastly paint black fourth layer 0.3 mm.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Bashar bin Abdin. Today I will present about costing. It would be less expensive to add insulation and wall forming to new construction. It does not have a central heating system. A central furnace is commonly recommended or necessary to deliver perfectly constant temperature in multi-story residence with more than one level air conditioning and or large-scale heating. A modest furnace and some duct work are not excessively expensive. In any case, providing breathing air to any room is vital. Fiberglass, cellulose, polyurethane foam, and polyolefin foams are examples of super insulating materials, SIM materials. Polyolefin foam has a high chemical resistance and weather resistance in this situation, with little degradation or color change. Polyolefin foam also has a high thermal resistance, making it the best insulation material. The greater the heat resistance, the better the insulating properties. So our group choose the polyolefin foam. So that's all for me. Thank you.